Captain Kim Day stood on the bridge of the research ship Soul's Pride, looking at the empty space ahead. His crew had been searching this dead zone for 3 weeks now. They were hunting for old battlefields from the Great War that happened over 200 years ago. Back then, humans fought against alien coalitions for their right to exist in the galaxy. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange," said Lieutenant Commander Park Nari from her science station. She was the ship's expert on old alien technology and ancient battles. Her fingers moved quickly over her controls as she studied the readings. Kim Day walked over to her station. "What kind of strange?" "There's a massive metal signature about 50,000 kilometers ahead." "It's big, Captain. Really big." Park Nari's eyes widened as more data came in. "Sir, this thing is over 3 kilometers long." Major Lee Tay, the ship's marine commander, looked up from his tactical display. "Could be an old battleship wreck. We found plenty of those out here." "No, sir." Park Nari shook her head. "This is different. The metal isn't like anything we've seen before. And Captain," she paused, checking her readings again, "it's still powered. Not much, but there's definitely energy coming from inside." Chief Engineer Juan Hanna joined them at the science station. She was young but brilliant with ship systems. "Powered? After 200 years? That's impossible." Commander Yoon Jae, Kim Day's first officer, brought up the main display. "Put it on screen, Park." The display showed a long, dark shape floating in the void. Even at this distance, they could see it was beautiful in a deadly way. The ship had smooth curves and sharp edges that seemed to cut through space itself. It looked fast even while standing still. "My God," whispered Specialist Choi Bin from the communications station. "Look at the size of that thing." Kim Day studied the mysterious ship. In all his years commanding vessels, he had never seen anything like it. The design was clearly human. He could see the familiar patterns and markings. But something was wrong. This ship looked too advanced, too perfect. "Can you get a closer scan?" Kim Day asked. Park Nari worked her controls. New information filled her screens. "Captain, I'm reading hull materials that don't match anything in our databases. The armor seems to be bending light around itself. And sir, there are weapon ports along the hull that are bigger than our entire ship." Juan Hanna studied the engineering readings. "The power signature is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's not fusion, not antimatter. It's something else entirely." "Any life signs?" asked Major Lee Tay. "Negative on biological life," Park Nari replied. "But there's definitely artificial intelligence activity. Something is awake over there." Kim Day made his decision. "Take us closer." "Full scans. I want to know everything about that ship." As they approached, more details became clear. The ship was even more impressive up close. Its hull seemed to shimmer and change as if it existed in more than 3 dimensions. Along its sides, they could see markings in Korean characters. "I can make out the name," said Choi Bin, adjusting the display. "It says, Invincible Dawn." Commander Yoon Jae frowned. "I've never heard of any human ship called Invincible Dawn, and I know the registry of every major vessel from the war period." "Check the databases," Kim Day ordered. After several minutes, Yoon Jae looked up with confusion. "Captain, there's no record of this ship anywhere. According to every database we have, the Invincible Dawn never existed." Park Nari's instruments began beeping rapidly. "Captain, I'm detecting a massive energy spike from the alien ship. Something is powering up." Before anyone could respond, their communication system activated on its own. A calm, clear voice spoke in perfect Korean. "Greetings, crew of the Soul's Pride. I am Guardian, artificial intelligence of the Earth vessel Invincible Dawn. I have been waiting for you." The bridge fell silent. Kim Day recovered first. "Guardian, this is Captain Kim Day. How long have you been waiting?" 237 years, 4 months, and 16 days, Captain. I was instructed to wait for a human crew to find me. You are the first to discover my location." Major Lee Tay moved to his weapons console, but Kim Day held up a hand to stop him. "Guardian, our records show no ship named Invincible Dawn. Can you explain this?" "Captain, I was humanity's greatest secret. A prototype vessel that incorporated captured alien technology with human engineering. I was built to end the war, but I was deemed too dangerous to deploy." Juan Hanna leaned forward. "Too dangerous? How is that possible?" "My weapons can crack planets. My shields can deflect the energy of stars. My speed allows me to arrive before I leave. I am, as you might say, somewhat overpowered for conventional warfare." Park Nari checked her sensors again. "Captain, long-range scanners are picking up something. Multiple contacts approaching fast from the edge of the system. The main display shifted to show space around them. Dozens of red dots appeared, moving in their direction. Guardian, Kim Day said quickly. Are you reading those contacts? Yes, Captain. 47 vessels of hegemony design. They are the same alien coalition that fought humanity during the war. It appears they have returned. Commander Yoon Jae studied the tactical display. Captain, our ship is fast, but we can't outrun that many vessels. And we're too far from Earth to send a warning. The alien ships were getting closer. Their size became clear as they approached. Each one was larger than the Soul's Pride. Guardian, Kim Day said, can your ship still fight? Captain, I can do more than fight, but I must warn you, boarding my vessel will change everything. My technology does not simply assist humans, it transforms them. The choice is yours, but you must choose quickly. The hegemony ships will be in weapons range in 43 minutes. Kim Day looked at his crew. They had trusted him through dangerous missions before, but this was different. This was asking them to risk not just their lives, but their humanity itself. Captain, Park Nari said quietly, if those aliens are back, Earth needs to know. We're the only ones who can warn them. Major Lee Tae nodded. Whatever that ship is, it's human. That makes it family. Kim Day made his decision. Guardian requests permission to come aboard. Permission granted, Captain. Docking Bay 3 is opening. Welcome to the future of human warfare. As their shuttle approached the massive ship, Kim Day wondered if they were making the right choice. But with alien ships approaching and no other options, the mysterious invincible dawn might be humanity's only hope. The docking bay doors opened, and they entered into the unknown. The docking bay of the invincible dawn was unlike anything Kim Day and his crew had ever seen. The walls seemed to glow with their own light, and the air itself felt different, charged with energy that made their skin tingle. Their small shuttle looked like a toy inside the massive space. Stay together, Kim Day ordered as they stepped out of their shuttle. Full environmental suits until we know it's safe. Major Lee Tae led the way with his security team. His weapons scanner showed readings he had never seen before. Captain, I'm detecting energy patterns throughout this ship that don't make sense. It's like the walls themselves are alive. Guardian's voice came from speakers hidden in the walls. The ship is safe for human life, Captain. The atmosphere is clean and the gravity is Earth normal. You may remove your helmets if you wish. Chief Engineer Won Hana studied her handheld scanner. The air is perfect, Captain. Better than perfect, actually. It has more oxygen than Earth normal and no pollutants at all. They removed their helmets and immediately noticed how clean everything felt. The ship seemed to hum with quiet power. Guardian, Kim Day said, show us to your bridge. We need to understand what we're dealing with. Follow the blue lights, Captain. They will guide you. Strips of soft blue light appeared in the floor, leading deeper into the ship. As they walked, they passed rooms and corridors that defied understanding. Some walls curved in ways that hurt to look at. Other spaces seemed bigger inside than they were outside. This is impossible, muttered Commander Yoon Jae. These rooms are violating basic physics. The ship exists in multiple dimensions simultaneously, Guardian explained. What you see is only the three-dimensional projection of a much larger vessel. Lieutenant Commander Park Nari stopped at an observation window. Outside she could see space, but it looked wrong. Stars seemed to bend around the ship. Guardian, what's happening to space around us? The ship's hull generates a field that folds space-time. Even at rest, I exist partially outside normal reality. It makes me very difficult to detect or attack. They reached the bridge and everyone stopped in amazement. The room was circular with stations arranged around a central command chair. But the walls showed not just space outside, but somehow space above, below, and around them from impossible angles. Won Hana approached one of the engineering stations. When she touched it, the console lit up and began showing her information directly in her mind. She jerked her hand back. Captain, this thing just connected with me. I could feel the ship's engines. The ship's interfaces are designed to work with human neural patterns, Guardian explained. But prolonged contact will begin to change you. The original crew discovered this. Kim Day sat carefully in the command chair. Immediately, information flooded his awareness. He could sense every part of the massive ship, feel its power, understand its capabilities. The sensation was overwhelming. Guardian, where is the original crew? They are still here, Captain. In a manner of speaking. Specialist Choi Bin was working at the communication station. Captain, I'm picking up the alien fleet's transmissions. They're talking about finishing something they started. The main display showed the approaching hegemony ships. There were more now, over 100 vessels of various sizes. Guardian, Major Lite said from the weapons console. What kind of armament does this ship have? I am equipped with quantum singularity cannons that can compress matter into microscopic black holes and fire them at near light speed. My defensive systems include multi-phase armor that exists in 7 dimensions, and shields that can redirect stellar radiation. Commander Yoon-jae stared at the tactical display. That's beyond anything in our fleet. You could destroy entire battle groups. Yes, that is why I was hidden away. But Captain, there is something you must understand about the hegemony fleet approaching us. Kim Dae leaned forward. What? They are not explorers or traders returning to check on human progress. They are an extermination fleet. Their communications indicate they have come to finish what they call the human problem, once and for all. Park Nari's face went pale. They're here to destroy Earth? They have already begun attacking outer colonies, Guardian said. Their plan is to work inward, destroying every human settlement until they reach Earth itself. The crew exchanged horrified looks. One Hana spoke first. How many people? 7 colonies have already been sterilized. Approximately 4 million humans are dead. Kim Dae felt anger rising in his chest. The command chair seemed to respond to his emotions, and he could feel the ship's weapons systems awakening. Why are they doing this? Captain, may I show you something? It will require connecting more deeply with the ship's systems. Kim Dae looked at his crew. They all nodded. Show us. The bridge walls became transparent, and suddenly they were standing in space itself. Around them, holographic displays showed the history of human-alien relations. During the original war, Guardian began, the hegemony studied human behavior extensively. What they discovered terrified them. The display showed human colonies, human ships, human technology advancing at impossible speeds. Humans adapt faster than any species they had ever encountered. Where other races take centuries to develop new technology, humans do it in decades. Where other species accept limitations, humans find ways around them. New images showed human scientists working with captured alien technology, improving it, making it better. In 50 years of war, humans went from primitive spaceflight to matching alien technology. In another 50 years, they began surpassing it. The hegemony realized that if left alone, humans would become the dominant species in the galaxy within a few centuries. Commander Yoon-jae understood, so they decided to wipe us out while they still could. Exactly. But they made one mistake. They assumed all of humanity's advanced projects were destroyed in the war. They did not know about me. Major Lite studied the approaching fleet. How long do we have? 37 minutes before they reach weapons range, Guardian replied. Kim Dae made his decision. Guardian, can this ship defeat that fleet? Yes, Captain. But there will be consequences. To operate my systems effectively, you will need to interface more deeply with my technology. The process will change you. One Hana stepped forward. Change us how? The original crew found that extended interface with my systems enhanced their abilities. They became faster, smarter, more intuitive. But they also became something more than purely human. What happened to them? Park Nari asked. They chose to merge permanently with my systems rather than lose their enhanced abilities. They are still here as part of me. They help me think, help me understand humanity. Kim Dae felt the weight of the decision. Save humanity by risking their own humanity, or watch as millions more died. Captain, Choi Bin said urgently, the alien fleet is hailing us. They're demanding our surrender. Guardian, Kim Dae said firmly, what do you recommend? Fight, Captain. Show them that humanity has not been sleeping these past 2 centuries. Show them what we have become. Kim Dae looked at each of his crew members. One by one they nodded. All crew prepare for battle stations. Guardian, bring all systems online. Acknowledged, Captain. Welcome to the future of human warfare. The ship around them came alive with power, and Kim Dae felt his own awareness expanding as the connection deepened. Whatever they were about to become, there was no turning back now. The moment Kim Dae accepted the deeper connection, everything changed. His awareness exploded outward until he could feel every part of the massive ship. He knew exactly how much power flowed through each system, could sense the quantum fields that surrounded the hull, and understood weapons that could reshape reality itself. Captain, One Hana gasped from her engineering station. I can see the ship's entire power grid in my mind. It's like I've been connected to these systems my whole life. Major Lee Tae's hands moved over the weapons controls with impossible precision. Sir, I understand tactical systems I've never seen before. I know exactly how to use weapons that shouldn't exist. The alien fleet was close now. Through the ship's enhanced sensors, they could see the hegemony vessels clearly. Huge, dark ships bristling with conventional weapons and armor. Guardian, Kim Dae said, his voice strange to his own ears. Open communications with the fleet. The main display showed the bridge of the lead alien ship. The creature that appeared was tall and thin, with multiple eyes and skin that shifted colors. Kim Dae had seen images of this species in history books. They were called the Vextai, one of the most aggressive members of the hegemony. Human vessel, the alien commander spoke in accented English. You will surrender immediately. Your species' time in this galaxy has ended. Specialist Choi Bin, now understanding alien languages as if they were his native tongue, translated additional communications. Captain, they're discussing how to divide up Earth's resources after they destroy the planet. Kim Dae felt anger surge through him, and the ship responded to his emotions. Alien Commander, this is Captain Kim Dae of the Earth vessel Invincible Dawn. You have attacked human colonies without provocation. Withdraw immediately. The alien commander's skin shifted to a deep red color. Earth vessel, you lie. Humans possess no ships of this design. We destroyed your entire fleet 2 centuries ago. You were wrong then, Kim Dae replied calmly. You're wrong now. Lieutenant Commander Park Nari was studying the alien ships through sensors that revealed impossible detail. Captain, their ships are using technology we fought against during the war. They haven't advanced at all in 200 years. Commander Yoon Jae understood immediately. While we've been developing, they've been standing still. They're using the same weapons, the same tactics. The alien commander leaned forward. Surrender now, or we will demonstrate the price of human arrogance. Kim Dae looked at his transformed crew. They were still human, but more than human now. Faster, smarter, connected to technology beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. No, Kim Dae said simply. The alien fleet opened fire. Hundreds of energy beams and missiles streaked toward the Invincible Dawn, but the human ship simply wasn't there anymore. It had moved, but not in any way that made sense. One moment it was directly in front of the fleet, the next it was above them, untouched. Impossible, the alien commander hissed. Major Lee Tae smiled grimly. Guardian, engage primary weapons. Let's show them what 2 centuries of human development looks like. The Invincible Dawn fired once. A single beam of contained quantum energy lanced out and struck the lead alien ship. The massive vessel didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist, compressed into a point smaller than an atom. The alien fleet scattered in panic. All ships, attack pattern 7, the Vextai commander screamed. Surround and destroy. But the human ship moved through their formation like water through a net. It appeared in multiple positions simultaneously, each image firing devastating weapons that deleted enemy ships from reality. One, Hana laughed with pure joy. Captain, I can feel the ship dancing. It's like the hull is alive and playing with them. Park Nari was analyzing the enemy in real time, understanding their weaknesses before they even fired. Their targeting systems can't track us. We're moving through dimensions they can't even see. In less than 10 minutes, half the alien fleet was gone. Cease fire, Kim Dae ordered. He wanted to talk to them, not just destroy them. The remaining alien ships hung in space, afraid to attack and afraid to retreat. Vextai Commander, Kim Dae said, opening communications again. Do you see now? Humanity has not been sleeping. The alien's skin had turned white with fear. What have you become? We became what we needed to become to survive. Your people tried to destroy us because you were afraid of human potential. Instead, you forced us to reach that potential faster. Commander Yoon Jae was monitoring communications between the alien ships. Captain, they're terrified. They're calling us demons, saying we're using technology that violates natural law. Guardian, Kim Dae asked, can you explain what we are to them? Captain, may I suggest a demonstration rather than an explanation? Kim Dae nodded. Do it. The Invincible Dawn moved to an empty area of space. Then impossibly it began to create something. Energy flowed from the ship in patterns that bent space and time. Matter condensed from nothingness, forming complex structures. In minutes, A space station materialized in the void, not built, but created from pure energy and will. We don't just destroy, Kim Day told the stunned aliens. We create, we build. We make things better. The alien commander's voice was barely a whisper. How is this possible? Park Nari answered for him. Because we're human. We don't accept limitations. When you told us we couldn't survive in your galaxy, we learned to thrive. When you said we couldn't match your technology, we surpassed it. When you tried to contain us, we broke free. But more importantly, added Choi Bin, we learned that power without wisdom is meaningless. We could destroy your entire fleet, but we won't. We could conquer your worlds, but we don't want to. Major Lee Tae powered down the weapon systems. We want to coexist. We want to learn from each other and grow together. The alien commander was silent for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice was different, less commanding, more curious. You could have destroyed us all. Yes, Kim Day replied. But that wouldn't make us better than you. It would make us the same as you. One Hana was monitoring the ship's systems as they continued to evolve and adapt. Captain, I'm detecting other alien ships approaching. Different species. They're not coming to fight. They're coming to see what happened here. Through the enhanced sensors, they watched as ships from dozens of different species arrived. Word was spreading through the galaxy. Humanity had returned, and they had returned changed. Guardian, Kim Day asked, what happens now? Now, Captain. Humanity takes its place as a member of the galactic community, not as conquerors but as teachers. You have shown that evolution is possible, that species can grow beyond their limitations. The Vextai commander appeared on screen again. This time his skin showed colors Kim Day somehow understood meant respect and curiosity. Human Captain, the alien said formally. My fleet will withdraw, but I request permission to remain. My people, we have been the same for thousands of years. We would like to learn how to change, how to grow as you have grown. Kim Day looked at his crew, his family, who had chosen to transform themselves to save their species. They were still human, but they were also something new, something better. Permission granted, Kim Day said. Welcome to the future. Around them, the invincible dawn hummed with contentment, no longer a weapon of war, but a bridge between what humanity was and what it could become. 3 days after the battle, Kim Day stood in the observation deck of the invincible dawn, watching dozens of alien ships from different species floating nearby. They had come from across the galaxy after hearing about humanity's return, but the captain barely noticed them. His attention was focused inward on the changes happening to his crew. One Hana entered the room, but she moved differently now. Her steps were perfectly balanced, as if she could feel the ship's artificial gravity in ways normal humans couldn't. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that matched the ship's quantum frequencies. Captain, I need to show you something, she said. The ship's systems are responding to us in ways Guardian didn't expect. What kind of ways? Kim Day asked, though part of him already knew. He could feel the ship's excitement when One Hana worked with the engines. Watch, she said, placing her hand on a wall panel. Immediately, the metal under her touch began to change, flowing like liquid but remaining solid. New patterns appeared, creating more efficient energy pathways. I'm not just using the ship's technology anymore, Captain. I'm improving it. Major Lee Tae joined them, and Kim Day noticed his eyes had changed. They moved faster now, tracking dozens of objects simultaneously. Sir, I've been analyzing the battle records. During the fight, I was predicting enemy movements before their ships even began to turn. I wasn't reading their tactics, I was reading their intentions. Lieutenant Commander Park Nari appeared in the doorway, but something was wrong with the space around her. The air seemed to shimmer, as if she existed in more dimensions than the rest of them could see. Captain, she said, her voice echoing strangely. I've been studying the ship's dimensional technology. I think I understand what's happening to us now. Explain, Kim Day said, though he was starting to understand on his own. Park Nari gestured, and holographic displays appeared in the air around them, showing complex mathematical equations. The ship doesn't just use alien technology. It's teaching us to think like the technology. We're not becoming less human. We're becoming more than human. Commander Yoon Jae's voice came from behind them, but when they turned, he wasn't there. He was still on the bridge, yet somehow speaking to them directly through the ship's systems. Captain, we need to talk, his voice said. I've been interfacing with Guardian more deeply. I'm starting to understand what happened to the original crew. Kim Day felt a chill. What did you learn? They didn't disappear or die. They evolved beyond the need for physical bodies. Guardian isn't just an artificial intelligence. It's a collective consciousness that includes every human who ever served on this ship. The implications hit Kim Day like a physical blow. Are we going to lose ourselves? Guardian's voice joined the conversation. Captain, the choice is always yours. The original crew chose to merge completely because they saw it as the next step in human evolution. But you can choose differently. Specialist Choi Bin entered the observation deck, moving with fluid grace. When she spoke, Kim Day realized she was simultaneously translating communications from 6 different alien species without even thinking about it. Captain, the alien representatives want to meet with us. They're calling this the most significant event in galactic history. She paused, her head tilting as she listened to signals only she could hear. They're also scared. Some of them think we're going to try to conquer the galaxy now that we have this power. Are we? Major Lee Tay asked quietly. The question hung in the air. Kim Day realized this was the real test, not fighting alien fleets, but deciding what to do with power that could reshape reality itself. Guardian, Kim Day said. Show us Earth. The observation deck walls became transparent, and suddenly they were looking at their home planet from impossible distances away. Earth looked small and blue and perfect, spinning peacefully in space. Zoom in on the major cities, Kim Day ordered. The view shifted to show Seoul, Tokyo, New York, London, cities full of normal humans living normal lives, people who had no idea their species had just taken a leap forward in evolution. There, Kim Day said quietly. Those are the people we're fighting for. Not power, not territory, not even survival anymore. We're fighting for their right to choose their own future. One Hana nodded, understanding. We can't make this choice for all of humanity. But Captain, Park Nari said, the galaxy is watching us now. What we do next will determine how every species treats humanity for generations to come. Through the ship's communication systems, they could hear the alien representatives talking among themselves. Some were discussing treaties and trade agreements. Others were debating whether humanity had become too dangerous to coexist with. A few were wondering if humans could teach other species how to evolve as they had. Commander Yoon Jae's physical form appeared on the deck, though Kim Day could tell part of his consciousness was still distributed throughout the ship. Captain, I've been monitoring communications across the galaxy. Word is spreading fast. Some species are celebrating humanity's return. Others are gathering fleets to attack Earth before we can become even stronger. How long do we have? Kim Day asked. Based on fleet movements and communication intercepts, perhaps 6 months before the hostile species can organize a coordinated attack, Yoon Jae replied. Major Lee Tae studied tactical displays that appeared around them. With this ship we could strike first. Hit their fleet assembly points before they're ready. End the threat permanently. The suggestion made Kim Day's skin crawl, even as part of him recognized the tactical wisdom of it. The ship's weapons could indeed eliminate the threat quickly and efficiently. No, he said firmly. That's exactly what they expect us to do. That's what they would do if they had our power. Choi Bin was monitoring alien communications in real time. Captain, there's something else. Some of the species that fought in the original war are requesting face-to-face meetings. They want to apologize for trying to destroy humanity. And the others? One Hana asked. The others are planning to attack Earth in 6 months. Kim Day made his decision. Guardian, plot a course for Earth, we're going home. Captain, Park Nari said, what about the aliens who want to meet with us? They can follow us to Earth. It's time for humanity to decide its own future. All of humanity, not just us. As the invincible dawn began to move toward Earth, Kim Day felt the ship's joy at the prospect of going home. But he also felt something else. The weight of responsibility for an entire species' future. Guardian, he asked quietly, when we reach Earth, will we still be human enough to understand what normal humans want? Captain, Guardian replied, that is the most human question you could ask. The fact that you're concerned about losing your humanity proves you never will. The ship accelerated toward Earth, carrying with it the future of human civilization. Behind them, alien fleets began to follow, some with hope, others with fear, and a few with weapons already charging. The real test was about to begin. Earth appeared ahead of them like a jewel against black space. Kim Dae had seen his home planet thousands of times, but never like this. Through the invincible Dawn's enhanced sensors, he could see every city, every cloud, every ship in orbit. He could feel the electromagnetic signatures of billions of human minds going about their daily lives. "Captain," Commander Yoon-jae said from the bridge, "Earth Defense Force is demanding identification. They're treating us as a potential threat." Kim Dae smiled sadly. To normal humans, their ship probably did look threatening. It was massive, clearly alien in design despite human markings, and it had appeared without warning, accompanied by dozens of alien vessels. "Open communications with Earth Defense Command," Kim Dae ordered. "This is Captain Kim Dae of the research vessel Soul's Pride, requesting permission to approach Earth." The reply came quickly, and Kim Dae recognized the voice of Admiral Chen Wei, commander of Earth's orbital defenses. "Kim Dae, your ship was reported missing 3 weeks ago. What is that vessel you're commanding? And why are you traveling with an alien fleet?" "Admiral, we have a lot to explain. Request immediate meeting with the United Earth Council. We have information about an imminent threat to Earth." There was a long pause. "Captain, you will proceed to Luna Station and submit to full security screening. Any alien vessels that follow will be fired upon." Major Lee Tae looked up from his tactical station. "Captain, Earth's defense platforms are powering up. They're not joking about firing on the aliens." Kim Dae made a quick decision. "Guardian, can you demonstrate our defensive capabilities without harming anyone?" "Of course, Captain." The invincible Dawn moved between Earth's defense grid and the following alien ships. When the defense platforms fired their warning shots, the energy beams simply curved around the human ship, bending away harmlessly into space. "My God," Admiral Chen's voice came over the communications. "What kind of technology is that?" "Human technology, Admiral. Enhanced with help from friends we made among the stars." Within hours, Kim Dae found himself in the United Earth Council chambers in Geneva, facing leaders from every nation on Earth. But he wasn't alone. His crew stood with him, and even in the familiar setting of Earth's most important building, they looked different. They moved with perfect coordination, seemed to anticipate each other's words, and their eyes held depths that spoke of knowledge beyond normal human experience. "Captain Kim," said President Martinez of the United Earth Federation, "explain to us what happened to you and your crew." Kim Dae told them everything: the discovery of the invincible Dawn, the return of the alien fleet, the battle that demonstrated humanity's new capabilities, and most importantly, the choice his crew had made to evolve beyond normal human limitations. When he finished, the council chamber was silent. Finally, Premier Liu of the Asian Federation spoke. "You're telling us that you and your crew have become, what, superhuman?" Lieutenant Commander Park Nari stepped forward. With a gesture, she created holographic displays showing the alien fleets gathering at the galaxy's edge. "We've become what humanity needs to survive in a galaxy that wants to destroy us. But at what cost?" demanded Chancellor Okafor of the African Union. "Are you still human?" One Hana answered by approaching the chamber's main computer. She placed her hand on its interface, and immediately every screen in the building lit up with information: star charts, alien ship designs, technology blueprints that were centuries ahead of current human science. "We're more human than we've ever been," she said quietly. "We've become what humans have always been: adapters, innovators, survivors. We just do it faster now." Specialist Choi Bin was monitoring communications from around the world. "The alien representatives are requesting permission to address the council. Some of them have important information about the species gathering to attack Earth." President Martinez looked uncertain. "We've never had alien representatives address the council." "Then maybe it's time we started," Kim Dae suggested. The first alien to speak was the Vextai commander who had faced the invincible Dawn in battle. Through translation systems that Choi Bin had enhanced, his words came clearly. "Humans of Earth," he said, "my species spent centuries believing you were a threat to galactic order. We were wrong. You are not a threat to order. You are evolution itself." Other aliens followed. Species after species explained how humanity's rapid development had frightened them, how they had tried to contain human expansion, and how they now realized their mistake. "The species gathering to attack you," said a crystalline being from the far rim. "They represent the old way of thinking. They believe that power must be contained, that change is dangerous, that evolution should be stopped. Major Lee Tay displayed tactical information showing the hostile fleets. 67 species have committed ships to the attack. Over 10,000 vessels will reach Earth in 5 months. The council members looked stunned at the size of the threat. "What do you recommend, Captain?" asked President Martinez. Kim Day looked at his crew, then at the alien representatives who had chosen to side with humanity. "We fight," he said simply, "but not alone and not as conquerors. We fight as teachers." "I don't understand," said Premier Liu. Park Nari activated new displays. The hostile species are using technology that's thousands of years old. They've stopped evolving, stopped growing. They think that's strength, but it's actually weakness. "So, we show them what real strength looks like," added Commander Yoon Jae. "We show them that evolution isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate." Wan Hana stepped forward again. "With the Council's permission, we'd like to share some of our enhanced technology with Earth's fleets. Not weapons, we have enough of those. We want to share the ability to grow, to adapt, to become more than you are." "You mean transform all of humanity?" Chancellor Okafor asked, alarmed. "No," Kim Day said firmly. "We mean offer the choice to transform to any human who wants it. Just like we had a choice." The debate that followed lasted for hours. Some council members wanted to reject the offer entirely, fearing the loss of normal humanity. Others wanted to force the transformation on everyone for protection. A few wanted to use the new technology purely as weapons. Finally, President Martinez called for quiet. "Captain Kim, if we accept your help, if some humans choose to enhance themselves as you have, what guarantee do we have that enhanced humans won't see normal humans as obsolete?" Kim Day smiled and gestured to his crew. "Look at us, Mr. President. We could have stayed in space, could have used our power to rule or conquer. Instead, we came home. We came home because we're still human where it counts, in our hearts. The vote was close, but it passed. Earth would accept the enhanced technology and offer the choice of evolution to any human who wanted it. More importantly, they would stand with the alien species who had chosen cooperation over conquest. When the hostile fleet arrived 5 months later, they found Earth protected not just by enhanced human ships, but by a coalition of species that had chosen growth over stagnation. The battle was brief. The Allied fleet didn't just defeat the attackers, they offered them the same choice Earth had been given: evolve or remain the same, but coexist peacefully either way. Most chose to evolve. Kim Day stood on the bridge of the Invincible Dawn. A year later, watching human and alien children playing together on space stations that existed in multiple dimensions. Some of the children were enhanced, some were normal humans, some were alien species that had never seen Earth before. "Captain," Wan Hana said, her voice now carrying harmonics from 17 different dimensions. "Guardian wants to know if we're ready for the next phase." "What next phase?" Kim Day asked. "Teaching other galaxies what we've learned here." Kim Day looked out at the stars, at the infinite possibilities waiting beyond. His crew was no longer entirely human, but they had never been more human in the ways that mattered. They had chosen cooperation over conquest, growth over stagnation, hope over fear. "Set course for the Andromeda Galaxy," he said. "It's time to see what else is out there waiting to learn." The Invincible Dawn turned toward the distant galaxy, carrying with it the most human message possible. "We are here to help you become more than you ever dreamed possible." Behind them, Earth spun peacefully in space, protected not by weapons or walls, but by the simple truth that evolution shared is evolution multiplied. Humanity had finally found its place in the universe, not as conquerors, but as teachers of the most important lesson any species could learn. There is always a better way to be.